Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report. Are you singing? I'm not sure. It might be coming from Tony. Here, I'm going to mute him in just a second here. Okay. Welcome to the Hammer Down Racing Report. It's not coming from that. I'm not sure where that's coming from.
What do you do to my camera?
Oh.
All
right. There we go. We're good now. I forgot to mute that.
Oh.
Welcome to the Hammer Down Racing Report, show number 310. We were a little unprepared. We were a little preoccupied watching the Gateway Dirt Nationals just a couple minutes ago. It's the Hammer Down Race Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. From the John Young Racing for First Responders, Dave Kemmer studio. This is, show, as I mentioned, show number 310 for Thursday, December 14th. We got some giveaway stuff we're going to be doing next week on the show, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Cool stuff?
It has to do with the hangover race at Sandusky Speedway. So a lot to get to there. We have our giveaway for a Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. Again, the special edition one that just looks like a white blob if you're looking at the screen there. Here, let's... There, it's that one. Hashtag DCR, put that in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. We'll do that drawing at the end of the show. And also tonight on the show, we're featuring the 2023 Limaland Thunderstock, the Limaland champions, including Thunderstock champion Tony Anderson and the modified champion Todd Sherman. Sherman's actually down running the Gateway Dirt National, so you may be wondering how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
I talked to him the other day.
Oh, that's cheating, Scott.
It was bowling night, so I didn't even invite you to come over and do it.
Yeah, well, you knew I wasn't going to be here.
I know.
Got to have your priorities.
So we'll hear from Todd Sherman a little bit later. Tony Anderson standing by in the green room right now. Before we get to him, got to mention freeze frame photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. They have custom print magnets, can koozies, tumblers, and other gift items. Still time to get those gift items before Christmas. Yeah. He's got a pretty good turnaround on those.
And gift certificates, I'll bet.
Gift certificates, 2024 calendars. Those are great gifts as well. Time running out to get in on those. I believe if you order within the next few days, you got plenty of time. If you wait until next week, you might be too late. But you can get those 2024 calendars anytime.
For Christmas. But
Exactly.
you can get them after Christmas.
Yeah. And don't forget, racers, you want to get your sponsors a little something, for thanking them for sponsor, for giving you money during the season or helping you out with whatever. And of course, Freeze Frame from Returning is the official track photographers at Oakshade Raceway. I'm just all discombobulated because I wasn't really focusing. Call Charlie, 419-476-9978. Freeze frame photos, special moments frozen in time. Also, Ron Miller Race Cars there in Lambertville, Michigan. Give him a call, 734-856-7223. He's got a lot of truck chassis in his shop right now.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
But
well underway.
It's still time to get gift certificates for
Absolutely.
for Ron Miller Race Cars as well.
Christmas Eve works just fine.
And those gift certificates can be used on parts, labor, whatever.
Anything that's available through Ron Miller Race Cars. You want to give someone a gift certificate for a race chassis, we can do that. It probably won't. The chassis probably won't be ready, but gift certificate will.
There you go. Give Ron a call, 734-856-7223, but do it after the show because he's busy right now. Also got to mention Dominator Race Products, Bentley Shaw down there at Gateway Dirt Nationals. DCR Graphics, they are the sponsor of our Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker giveaway. Don't forget, hashtag DCR. You only have to do that once in the comments of Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. There is a hack, though, I did notice, because if you do it more than once, it doesn't matter. It only counts you as one time.
Really?
But if you do it once on the YouTube and once on the Facebook,
you're in twice.
You get 2.
Ooh.
I think I saw that. That's how I think. Don't quote me on that. So if you want an extra chance, you got to do a little bit of extra work for that.
Is that anything like traction control in your race car, or it's cheating?
It's not really cheating. It's more working the system.
I understand. Okay. And that's what you're going to tell the tech inspector.
Exactly. It's like being creative with the rules you're given.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Also got to mention Oakshade Raceway as well. How about we bring in our 2023 Thunderstock champion, Mr. Tony Anderson. Tony, how's it going? Oh, wait, I muted him. Hold on. Let me unmute you here. Oh, wait, you are unmuted.
Talk to us, Tony.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
We got you.
yeah.
We got you.
All right.
Okay, did Rusty win his heat race?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Yes,
Very
he did.
good.
Yep. He changed his line with 3 laps to go, and that won it for him. The high line was going away.
Well, that's all we needed. Thanks for checking in with us tonight. You have a great night.
Awesome. Merry Christmas.
Tony Anderson, congratulations. Another track championship for you. 2 wins this year, 9 top 5s. You finished 3rd in the points in the modified as well. So, I mean, overall, how would you rate your season?
Well, with the budget that we have, I'd rate it pretty good. I technically won my whole 23 season. I won 14 races between 3 divisions. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of that, how many tracks? I mean, because I actually do a little bit of prep here, but I saw that you ran a whole bunch of different tracks, a whole bunch of different types of cars and trucks. What all tracks did you get to this year? What all have you raced in this year?
Well, honestly, we stayed closer to home. And I end up running, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 racetracks, 4 divisions of racing. I won 5 races in the dirt track truck series. I won 9 races in my super stock, and we won a race in the modified.
Not too shabby. And 30 years, 30 championships for you. Where'd the majority of those championships come?
I think I've won 14 of them at Limaland, and between the modified and the super stock. I know I won 19. It was a long time ago. Obviously, I'm going to show my age now, but 1995 at Millstream and 1996, same track called Flag City. Those were my first 2. So I'm going to say the majority of them were at Limaland.
Awesome. So that's where I got my start, from 1996 at Millstream.
Yeah, announcing?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I remember him winning the championship.
Yeah.
Out of all 20...
every once in a while I get lucky, you know.
Which, out of all those cars, do you have a preference as to which one you prefer driving, or do you just like anything with wheels?
I love racing. I will drive anything. You know, I'm up to 405 feature wins after this season in 7 different divisions.
Wow.
And I like the modified, but it is out of control when the tracks, you know, I don't know if it's some of my budget, my driving style or whatever, but when the tracks get dry, I'm really tough. But when they're hammered down and rough, man, it's just not really my forte. My thinking, my cowboy days, I think, are a little behind me. You know, I don't like getting up Saturday morning with the kink in my neck. But I'm going to say probably the super stock. I did have a lot of fun this year running that dirt truck. I mean, that thing's so fun to drive. And probably if I had one of my funnest races was over at Waynesville this year with the truck. We broke leading the heat race, had to start dead last, and the feature was passing for, I think, 5th or 6th, 5 or 6 laps into it, got spun out. I grabbed the gear and saved it, but they threw the caution for safety, had to go to the tail again. I'm back and still won the race. And
now, is that one of King Racing's trucks?
Yes. Andy King owns the truck that I drive. I also won in this year over at Gas City in the 1S truck, which is owned by Mike Sawmiller. I won in that truck too. But yeah, the tongue was hanging out of its mouth afterwards. Andy doesn't have a lot of money in that truck, and I had it pinned to the floor for about 5 laps. I was a little aggravated, but put on a heck of a show, and I was one of the funnest trips to victory lane this year. But you know, I'm 54 years old, and to get to do this, I feel truly blessed. And to stand in victory lane 14, 15 times this year, I feel really blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Didn't one of those wins come at Eldora too?
Yes. We finally got a nice dry slick track down there. My little engine that got her done, and the car was really hooked up. We're pretty fast in the heat, just a little off. And actually, I got to give props to Craig Dittman that night, because him and I had a conversation, and he gave me a suggestion I hadn't thought of, and that car was super locked down in the feature, and it was a great race.
I've taken advice from Craig a few times. It's worked out positively as well, so I can relate. How do you? You mentioned Millstream, Flag City, whatever you want to call it. Millstream coming back. Are you excited about that? Have you heard anything about any possible stock car races there this year?
Well, I haven't heard
year?
about their scheduling or the amounts of races. I'm assuming they're going to have to go into it kind of low key the first stage, minimal amount of races. I know that they contacted me a couple months ago. They wanted me to come down and interact in a couple of their meetings and kind of represent the Fender cars. And I was more than willing to do that, but every time they scheduled it, I was racing somewhere, so it never transpired for me.
Well, if you do get to represent us Fender car drivers, make sure to do it well and ask for some races.
Well, I do my best, and I'm going to be honest with you. Everywhere I raced this year, Montpelier, Indiana, Eldora, Waynesfield, Limaland, no matter the car count, if there was 8 cars, 18 cars, 25 cars, I feel like the stock cars really put on good racing this year. You know, I had the privilege of racing with you over at Oakshade and over at Fremont, and once again, great racing, very competitive, side by side, 2-3 wide, and that's what it's all about with these fans. It's not about one guy set sail and half tracking everybody. It's about the racing, and I get a lot of positive feedback that no matter where we're at, what we're doing, me and my team, you know, we put on good shows, and I feel like it makes the people feel like they're spending their money wisely to watch a class act race.
You were talking about having run at Oakshade and Fremont. That Showdown series pays pretty well, and it really seems to be a good mix of different kinds of race vehicles.
You know, it really does. Honestly speaking, this is only my opinion, nothing set in stone or anything, but if Millstream was smart, if they're going to schedule some of those races, they would continue, you know, the Lima, the Eldora, the Oakshade, the trucks, the cars, combining everything, and you're going to get huge car counts. You're going to have a great racing, and if they were smart, they would entertain that idea. I think Millstream was calling them Strucks there for a while.
Right.
Yeah, and that seemed to work out pretty good when the Hammers, not related to me, were running the track there.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I went to Oakshade for the first leg of that, and the track has a little bit of character in it.
A little?
Just
I'm being nice on the radio. But and it was fast, you know, it was tacky, and
Right.
I don't run a high dollar motor in that car, and we were actually up to 5th from 14th. I locked up a right front brake and moved up there across the line 7th, so we developed some passing points and went to Fremont. Track got a little drier. Me and Craig, of all people, put on a real good race there. I ran second.
Yes.
I was supposed to start 8th in that feature, but I couldn't make it back during the week. The rain came and kind of ruined it for everybody, and their only opportunity to get in was during the week, which I respect that, you know. But I have plans to run that deal again next year. I really like that deal.
Awesome.
There's a racing with you, Scott. You still hold a pretty wheel, man. You really do.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
And that's not just brown noser points either.
Okay. Looking at back at your Limaland championship or any of your championships, really, how do you like point racing? Do you go into a season with the mindset that hey, I'm going to go for the championship here, or do you just kind of let things happen, just go for the wins night after night, and the points fall where they may?
Well, with what I do, I spend a little bit of money to modify it just to try to stay competitive or semi-competitive. But with the stock cars, for years now, I've been able to do this deal with, you know, stock car with less than $13,000 in it turnkey. So with that being said, it's hard to go out and be the fastest car every night with that kind of money in the car with that kind of budget. But I feel like what I bring to the table is a whole lot of consistency, you know, a smart racer. You know, if the car isn't right, I don't knock the wall down trying to prove a point. I get what I can get, and there's always next week. And so that's provided a lot of championships, a lot of points battles for me.
So what would you say would be your most memorable night at Limaland this past season, and why?
Probably, man, there was a couple of them. Prior to the night, we won the modified race, dry slick track, got down on the bottom, won it by a quarter of a track, didn't abuse the car, didn't abuse the tires. It was a very fun, some people would call it boring, 20-lap feature, but that's what I look forward to. And the tracks are slow and low. I hook the car up. I don't have to worry about the angles and the throttle, and we just do our thing. So that night there was a lot of fun. The last night was too, really, being able to win the invitational feature and then turn around and win the King of the Quarter Mile. But like I said before, when the tracks dry off, that's really where I shine. I've got a good right foot, even though it's numb. It probably helps me. But I just think that that when the tracks are hammered down, I can still run them. But when they start getting a little character in them, that's when I start backing off the gas, because I don't have the money to put new parts in my car every night. And I was vocal earlier in the year at a certain racetrack, I won't mention it, about some track conditions, and they worked really hard to fix them after that and did the best they could, and I appreciate that. And I wasn't trying to make anybody mad or make myself public enemy number one. I was just voicing my opinion. Sometimes
you just got to let your mouth go.
I did. I parked it on the front stretch, and I had a discussion. The fans were on my side, and the powers that be looked down on me for a few weeks. But you know, like I said, they listened. They did the best they could with what they had to work with, and hopefully next year we can get things more consistent. And personally, I like dry slick racetracks. I think when they get wide, it's much better racing. But that's just personal preference, and it's coming from me.
I've got a picture on my wall in my office. Oakshade Raceway, black slick, bottom to top, 4 wide, nobody touched, fantastic racing.
There you go. Perfect example. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Every track, big or small, seems like it's excellent racing when the track widens out. And it's hard for it to widen out if you've got a big, thick cushion and one lane racing.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of tracks had issues this past season with a lot of character and other issues, but do you feel that competing in 2 classes, at least at Limaland, on a weekly basis, running the modified and the Thunderstock, do you think that gives you a little bit of an advantage, some extra track time, or does that actually work against you as far as being a little too busy to focus on one or the other?
I think I have so many laps in the Superstock that it doesn't matter if I run the mod first. However, there are nights that if I run the Superstock reverse, I feel it does help me in the modified. I really do. I can feel things in the racetrack, and anymore they run them back to back, so the track don't have an opportunity to change when you come in, jump out of one car and into the other. And they're telling me there's going to be 8 or 9 truck races on the schedule next year now instead of just 3. So it sounds like I'm going to be triple doing it most of the year over there.
There you go.
I'm going to have to make more time to get on a treadmill this winter, I think.
How about sprint cars? Any experience in those?
I got asked to hot lap a car for Ron Hammonds about 6 or 8 years ago, and I ended up turning him down. I figure my noggin's been knocked around enough. I don't need to improve that any. So I'm just going to keep the fenders or keep the driving the cars that have starters in them, and I'll let the real cowboys drive them sprint cars.
Yeah, I did a test session once. It's definitely different. It's not as foreign as you would think, though.
Well, and I obviously I know a lot of people. I've been doing this forever, but I've been told by numerous resources that the people that drove those cars that you drive them a lot more throttle than you do these cars. You basically race those cars with the gas pedal.
Yep, absolutely.
And, I mean, that
was what I learned.
I'd love to experience sometime a big right rear in a late model or sprint cars. It's obviously it's not in our budget. It's all we can do just to keep getting to the racetrack every year. We just had to put a lot of money in our truck or toter, and doesn't happen very often, but when it does, puts a big dent in the budget.
Any big obstacles you had to, or setbacks you had to overcome during the season with the Thunderstock on your way to the championship, such as maybe an engine that became toast?
Yes, sir. Sounds like you had an inside source on that one.
What was that all about?
Well, championship week, before championship week, the weekend before, my car was popping in backfire every time I started at Limaland. I thought, that's the only track that was running 2-barrel. I honestly thought, because I'd already lost a 2-barrel carburetor earlier in the year, I thought it was a carburetor issue. We got through the night with it. Didn't really run the best, but put the 4-barrel on to go to Indiana. It was doing the same thing. That really got me wondering. At the end of that feature with 3 laps to go, it went from 195 to 240.
Oh,
no reason whatsoever. So obviously Monday we pulled the spark plugs out of it, and something didn't look right. Number 3 spark plug. So and the engine was 3 years old, my good engine. So I thought, I blew a head gasket. I'm not gonna put a head gasket on the motor. It needs rebuilt. So we pulled it out, put the backup in for the rest of the season, and I ain't got time to tear that thing down a month ago, and ended up burning a piston because my distributor failed.
oh.
I mean, I don't know why a 10-year-old distributor would break, but I suppose it's possible. But
you said that happened the week before season championship night.
Championship. So we showed up to the championship with our backup motor, and it was way different. And my guys, right after we qualified, bless their hearts, they busted their butts. We had changed gears and everything else to try and steal the deal on that title.
And you ended up, what'd you finish? 4th, I think, in that final feat.
Yep. And it still wasn't where it needed to be, but to be quite honest with you, I didn't own a gear big enough to put in the car with that slug we had to finish the season with. So but it worked out good for us. It was my 30th championship, and I try to tell people I've never won a championship. It's always been we, and that was the case this year. And instead of getting my mug on Lima's racetrack next year, we made arrangements to get my whole team put on there instead, and that's what it's all about.
Yep. So speaking of that, are there any folks you want to thank, sponsors, crew members, family members that helped you out?
Oh man, goodness gracious, we'd be here all night if I tried to hit everybody. But Neil Sterling's been my longtime crew chief for that Superstock for 18 years now. He's been with me forever. He knows how to put up with my tantrums and what I expect out of the car, and works hard on during the week. We have Ron Bounds. He's a retired Marine that helped us every other weekend, and Keith Mayer helped us a lot. My brother T.I. put some gears together for us. My wife supports me all these racetracks I go to and running around every Friday and Saturday, and occasionally during the week. And my mom's been on the team forever and helps out. We had a couple of UNOH students this year. Kinsley, she moved on. She graduated, moved back to Indiana. My sponsors, Texas Roadhouse and Mid-American Cleaning, Web Insurance. I know I'm forgetting a bunch because I don't have them right in front of me, but I'm truly blessed to have mostly the same sponsors I've had for many, many, many years. And the crews, I've had different crew members throughout the years. But probably, I drove a modified at Limaland for a couple years for Alan Eric Austin, but to be honest with you, my longtime car owner, Troy Breidenball, he's been, we're brother-in-laws, but technically we're more brothers than we are car owner and driver. We get along real well, and he supports it 100%. And I don't know if you ever heard this story, but back in 2001, he had already sponsored me for 2 years, and he come to me and said, me and my family are having a blast. Write down a figure. I want to buy your team. I want to be a car owner. I told him I don't need to write down a figure. All my stuff's wore out. You can have it all. I'll give you everything you own to keep me going. And him and I have won 28 championships together. I won the first 2 Millstream and Flag City without him, but other than that, we've been a bonded pair, and it's been a really fun ride.
Wow, nice.
That's pretty amazing.
So I know you mentioned that you might be doing triple duty some nights next year, but what exactly are your plans for next season? To kind of do the same thing?
I think so. I honestly think, we missed a couple of races at Eldora, but I think this year we might try to hit all the races at Eldora. I'm also obviously going to run Limaland. I'm a big fan of Montpelier, Indiana. Depending on when their schedule comes out and what all they're running over there. I like running tracks within a couple hours. You may see me up at Butler, Michigan a couple times, Gas City, Indiana, but I don't see us traveling real far away. We're not going to go to Florida again this year. I don't have the budget for it, and there's so much money to spend that can go towards racing around here during the season. With tires $200 a piece and everything else up through the roof. And we just try to race within our means. And honestly, there's only been a couple of years within the last several years that we haven't had some money left over at the end of the season after our bills are paid. And I think that's pretty astonishing.
It is.
Well,
some of the reason for that, though, is because we don't have a lot of money. We don't have a $60,000 modified. We don't have a $15,000 stock car motor. We just, the car I raced this year, I actually bought off Todd Sherman over the winter for $7,000. And it had everything but the motor.
So talking about the modified then?
No, the stock car.
Stock car. Oh, okay.
So we just dumped our $6,000 motor in it, and that's what I raced with all year, and won a lot of races and did real well with it.
Nice. Just goes to prove that you don't have to put a lot of money into it.
I don't think you do. The biggest time that it really shows up with me in my mod and my stock, my lack of funds in the cars, is probably the bigger tracks, like Volusia or Eldora. We do okay at Montpelier because I've got 1 million laps around that place. And I know me and Todd have been having some fun with the all-time winner at Limaland. He took it from me when he won the King of the Quarter, and then when I won the King of the Quarter, I tied him again. So I think we're entering 24 tied again for the all-time wins at Limaland. So if I've got to run 7 divisions or whatever, I like to hold on to that.
Maybe you just need to beat him more in the modified then.
That would be nice. We're trying. It's not from lack of effort. We're trying. Believe me. There's a lot of good drivers out there, and the modifieds are so close anymore. When they start qualifying them weekly, you could see it. We were talking tenths of seconds between 13, 15 cars. And that's another thing. I think the pill draw is old news now. I think that class is way too competitive for pill draw. I think always qualify them weekly.
I think most tracks are that way anymore.
I think they're turning that way, and I totally agree with that. I think that class is way too competitive and even, and when you get on a short track, especially when they dry out, then all of a sudden the $60,000 modified that doesn't have a big advantage over my $30,000 modified, and it makes more sense.
Nice. Well,
with transponders and scoring loops, it's real easy to do group qualifying. So really, it doesn't take any more time than just a hot lap set.
I totally agree. It takes no more time, and it actually cuts down on cause restrictions during the heat race.
Right.
I've seen it.
And it puts the lineup back in the hands of the driver.
Yes. Yep.
As a guy, when I was starting my racing career,
yeah,
I'm all for the pill draw.
Yeah.
I might have a chance of getting a pole or something. So for the newer guys, the slower guys, pill draw is great. But then, what you were saying,
you start dead last in a stacked heat race.
Yeah, then you're like, I don't like this pill draw anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Scott, remember that heat race we were in at Oakshade on that big race?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if that was all set up by pill draw. How crazy that would have been, I just, and I've been doing this a long time. I've got a lot of laps and a lot of different race cars, a lot of different tracks. And there were several times this year, when we're qualifying, I'm starting third or fourth row because I dropped the ball in qualifying. That's totally on me. It has nothing to do with luck.
Yep.
And I accept that. It's a lot easier to accept that than showing up Limeland, drawing a 50 and starting at 8th in the heat like we were in over at Oakshade. It's like, what are you going to do? But I love racing either way, and I support it wholeheartedly. But I'm very opinionated, and the older I get, the more opinionated I get. It's like I'm getting more and more cantankerous from old age.
That happens.
I don't notice that in Ron at all.
No opinions here, Scott.
Any thoughts about retirement yet? Or is that not even something that's entered your mind at this point?
Well, it's entered my mind a couple times when the night didn't go so well, but it hasn't stayed very long. I love doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
My car owner already told me we're ride or die. When I retire, he retires. And I think if we can keep having some seasons like this, I can see myself doing a few more years. As long as the money's there, the sponsor help is there. I know we lost one sponsor because they retired last year, but then we picked up 2 new ones now. And I want to make sure I'm never going to mortgage a house or sell my soul to go racing. I love racing, but I'm going to do it within my means. And I feel like, honestly, me and my team are one of the best at doing it with no money. And we just make things flash. You know, I had the crossbar weld break on a distributor that burnt a piston in a motor. The distributor's 10 years old. You know, we just try to stretch things out and make them last as long as we can.
I know how that goes.
Tony, you'll know when it quits being fun, and I haven't gotten there yet, and I know darn well you haven't.
Nope, I haven't. And you're right about that. You know, 2 years ago, I think it was, we had a frustrating year and it wasn't as fun. But when I show up to the track and all of these different fans and racers talk to me during the course of the night, we go out there and we compete. It's just an amazing feeling. I wish everybody in the world could experience it. It'd probably be a better place, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I'd have a lot more money if I didn't enjoy it so much.
I would too. I feel you.
Tony, always a pleasure talking to you. Congratulations again on your 30th championship. Looking forward to racing with you in the Showdown Series next year, and maybe talking to you again at the end of the year with Championship 31 and maybe 32. Maybe you win a couple classes next year.
Boy, that would be awesome. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. And just let me say before we go there, I really appreciate what you guys do for racing and everything. Thanks, man.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Take care, Tony.
Yep, have a good one.
You too. There you go. Tony Anderson, your 2023 Limaland Thunderstock champion.
Yeah.
30,
and that's a good class.
30,
it really is.
Championship. Yeah, it is. It's pretty competitive there.
Yep.
I was happy to actually get down there. First time I've ever been to Limaland was just this past summer. So
really?
It was pretty fun, yeah.
As a racer?
No, I filled in for Jerry for one night announcing,
right.
but it was the first time I've ever been there at all, either as a racer or fan or anything. But
all right.
We got Todd Sherman we're gonna talk to here in just a second. Got to mention Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race. Check out oakshaderaceway.com. There is at least one official event on the schedule.
Summer Nationals.
Summer Nationals. There you go. If you want to find out when that's going to be, the birthday race, check out oakshaderaceway.com. You can follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok to keep up to date on everything going on at Oakshade. And there's some stuff going on at the track that's just not being publicized, but good things, though.
Yeah.
Definitely good things. Also going to mention DCR Graphics. Check them out for full wraps for your race car. They also specialize in banners, stickers, die-cast, T-shirt designs. They can do pretty much any kind of graphic for any kind of car, sprint cars, late models, modified stock cars, compacts. You can also order your official Hammer Down Racing Report window stickers. That would be these. The one we're giving away tonight is...
Wrong way, Scott.
I keep doing that. There we go. That's the one you can buy. $5 for that one. Stick it on your regular car. Stick it on your race car. If you stick it on your race car, you can take a picture, send it to us on Facebook, and you become part of the Hammer Down Racing Army. Yeah, and we'll report on your races each week, as long as you let me know what they are, because I don't have time to track down. The Army's getting pretty big. It's a pretty big army. We're gonna have to take over the world or something. I don't know. DCR Graphics, locally owned and operated, and just in time for the holidays, he's got gift certificates as well. So give Dale a call. You can call or text him, as a matter of fact, 419-308-9523. Check him out on Facebook at facebook.com/DCR Graphics. And I believe he just put out his pricing for as of
2024.
Yeah, that's going to be for next year on his
and still
Facebook
very
page.
Reasonable.
Absolutely. There you go. And once again, hashtag DCR to win that special edition Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. We'll do that drawing at the conclusion of the show. Right now, though, let's get into our conversation with the 2023 Limaland Modified Champion, Mr. Todd Sherman. We're here with the 2023 Limaland Modified Champion, Todd Sherman. How's it going, sir?
Going good.
Congratulations. How many championships is this for you now?
I think it's 10 at Limaland.
Jeez. How many overall, approximately?
It's around 25.
How do you feel about point racing? Is that something you set out to do at the beginning of the season, or is it just kind of happen?
Now we do at Limaland. We won the region too, but our goal starting out was to win Limaland and the UMP. I think they call it the Eastern region, which has Lima, Eldora, Waynesville, Montpelier, Butler, Michigan. Those tracks are all in our region. And the main reason is because a lot of times racing doesn't make sense because you're spending more than you're going to win, but it has to make a little bit of sense. And so we kind of go after the point money. Lima has a really good point fund. The region pays pretty good. So we just do that so that, if we do win it, it kind of offsets some of our cost.
So did you get the region championship
I did,
this year
yes.
too?
Yep.
Congratulations on that. Oh, that's pretty
Thank
impressive.
You. This was one of those years I ended up with 13 second place finishes. So I was right there like almost every time. I lost several of them by, less than, 0.2 of a second, 1/10 of a second. Just, I was on them, just didn't get enough laps, but I'll take 13 seconds. It's better than having a tore up race car.
2 wins and 7 top 5s at Limaland. What was your most memorable night this past season at Limaland?
Probably the last night, just because it was a non-point race, but it was an invitational, the top 20 in points, and then the king of the quarter. And this is my son's first year racing, and he ended up getting rookie of the year, which that was one of our goals too. And in that invitational, he lost control of his car and he took me out and tore up both of our cars, but his had the least amount of damage. So I ran it in the king of the quarter mile, started third row inside, and I won that in his car. And that was pretty exciting. I kind of got on his case a little bit because he wifed me out. And I said, it ain't no different than being mad at somebody else if they did it. Just because you're my son don't mean I can't get mad at you.
So besides that obstacle, was there any other setbacks or obstacles you had to overcome during the season to get this championship?
Well, about halfway through the year, Troy Catherine was running really well. He's really good on the bottom, and I think he had the point lead for a while. I don't remember. There was one night where everybody's just catfishing around the bottom. I thought, man, I got to go to the outside because I'm not going to get nothing done. And I went to the outside and I didn't make any ground. I tried to get back to the bottom and I cut Jeff Cause off and I flattened my own tire because I was trying to get to the bottom. He apologized and I told him, on your fault. I was, I went out there and tried to make something happen. When I tried to get back to the bottom, you were in there and I flattened my own tire. Well, that put us kind of back a little bit, but we was able to, rally back and make up some ground.
So what do you like most about racing at Limaland?
It's very professionally ran. You might not like everything they do, but I mean, the rules are the same all the time. And with the NASCAR deal, the point money's good. The awards are good.
I saw your name on Blaney's on his cup car. Wasn't it on the cup car?
Yeah.
Was that part of that deal? What was that all about?
So the championship night was before the Michigan race. And so I was crowned the champion. So NASCAR got the results. So they put me on his car as the Wayland short track champion at Limaland. And then they sent me a message and showed me, and I thought, that's pretty cool. And I made a joke that I said, well, just like that, he'll get all the judgment calls and be the track favorite and everything with my name on his car.
And he went in and won the championship.
Anyway, and he was at the banquet when me and my son was there and giving out an award. And I thought, man, I ought to get a picture with him and tell him that I helped, get him to that championship.
Plans for next year. You said this is your son's first full season. I remember talking to you guys a little bit before season championship night at Limaland. You're still going to keep racing? You're going to be supporting him? What's going on for next year?
No, I'm going to keep racing. The older I get, it's like I know I don't probably have that many races left, so I'm going to race more than I ever have just to try to get as many in as I can before I can't do it anymore. And my son's probably just going to run Limaland. He's got 2 kids and one on the way, and me and him bought a restaurant together with our wives, and that takes a little bit of our time up. We enjoy doing that. So with the race car shop and the restaurant and him having the kids, it's a little bit tough to, race like I do.
Man, you guys are busy. And you got the Gateway Dirt Nationals this weekend. How many times have you been down there for that?
This will be the second year. The first couple of years we tried to campaign to get an invite. You got to get invited, and we never got one. So I gave up, and I thought, well, since they're playing favoritisms, if I get an invite, I won't go. And then I got an invite, and I'm like, I'm going. So,
so was last year the first year then?
Last year was the first year, and I thought we ran pretty well. We had a car with some motor issues, but we didn't know it when we was down there. But I thought I was going to make the race, but a car hit the pit exit and jumped up in the air, and he landed on the back of my car and tore the main hoop bar in the back out. They told me that it had too much damage and that I had to pull off the track.
Other than that, it looks like it's a lot of fun down there. I kind of wanted to go this year myself, but things didn't work out. I mean, how much fun is it down there?
It's overall? It's almost like a carnival atmosphere. There's so many vendors and people selling, and all the big name guys are there. And it's just, and they do a great job of creating drama. And if there's conflict on the track, they run right down there and get in their face and get them to, say things they might regret later, but they play it on Jumbotron, and then everybody in the whole arena, it's like you'll see them, booing some guy, and then the guy will pass for the lead and they all cheer for him. It's like, I don't even think they know whose side they're on. They just want to cheer, I guess.
You need to get into the fence and roll over like Charlie Mefford last year. Nobody knew his name until that happened, and they got the microphone in front of him.
Well, I think he had a pretty good plan for that deal. He might have done it intentionally after listening to him. I'd rather be my claim to fame would be to win it, and not, destroy my car.
Well, we'll definitely be watching you this weekend, and we wish you luck on that. Before we let you go, though, any sponsors or anybody you want to thank for helping you out this past season?
Yeah, we got quite a few. If it wasn't for my friends, racing always in the past was about friends getting together and going racing. And for a while I thought, that don't work anymore. It's about money, but it's still about friends. I mean, the cost of the cars are, kind of out of hand, I guess. But if it wasn't for friends, I probably wouldn't be racing. I had a guy stop by the shop tonight and give me a couple $100. Had a guy call me, say, hey, if you go to the Dome, I'll give you $500. And I thought, okay. And then I had another guy, just a random guy, sent me, he's a customer of ours who lives down by Evansville, I think, but no, Terre Haute. But anyways, he sent me $100 in a check and said, hey, use this to go to the Dome. And so Vision Homes is probably my biggest sponsor, and they supplied me with a couple engines. And they just teamed up with Tristan Chamberlain, Vision Homes Racing, and they put him, he's going to run the World of Outlaws a full season.
Yeah.
Well, that ought to be very interesting, and he's a very talented young man.
Awesome. Well, Todd, like I said, good luck, and you know that our guests typically go on to win their next race. So what do you know what night you're racing?
Thursday night.
Thursday night. So when we're airing this back, you're going to be probably getting ready to go on the track.
Yeah, it'll be on Flow, so it should be pretty exciting.
All right, well, we'll wrap up the show early then on Thursday so we can watch. Actually, I want to do that anyway. So, Todd, again, congratulations on the championship season, another championship, and we look forward to watching you this weekend and next year.
Sounds good. Look for Dalton Lane down there, too. He's a Limaland local. He got an invite, so me and him will be representing Limaland.
Come to me and say, here's $100. Go down to Gateway.
$100 ain't going to get you in the front door.
Well, congratulations, though, again to Todd Sherman, Tony Anderson, your 2023 track champions at Limaland Motorsports Park. Got some news to get to, and then we'll do how many? Chance to win some Big D's pizza. I went with John Young down to Big D's on Sunday. Yeah, got some food.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
He called, wondered if I wanted
anything.
Yeah,
he was surprised. You said you didn't want anything.
Oh, Kathy already had dinner on the stove. And
Make sure to give Dominator Race Products a call. They have what you need to be in the winner's circle. Dominator with 30 years of experience to put you out front. Hoods, fillers, doors, quarters. Check out their composite ultimate body panels, late model nose kits, 3-piece modified valance kit. I believe their ultimate body panels. I think I just saw Bentley posted right before we came on that
all IMCA classes.
Is it IMCA or
IMCA?
IMCA. Okay, yeah, the modifieds and the
late models and
so it's approved
cars.
for that. So the good news for Dominator and for those that want Dominator that run in the IMCA classes. Give Dominator a call, 419-923-6970, or you can order online at dominatorraceproducts.com. Dominator Race Products also available from your local reputable race shops such as Ron Miller Race Cars.
Yeah.
So there you go. Got some racing news to get through here. How about we do that? Oops, made everything disappear. How about we do that right now?
Latest racing news.
Bit of news.
Really?
Yeah. The Dirt Car Summer Nationals will return for its 39th installment with a 5-week lineup of events. This came out late last week. Late models will contest a total of 29 races over 33 days. That's why they call it the Hell Tour.
Yeah.
Starting with the season opener at Peoria Speedway on June 12th, traveling through 9 states before ending with the season finale at Wayne County Speedway in Orrville, Ohio, on Sunday, July 14th. Butler Motor Speedway scheduled for Thursday, July 11th, and then the birthday race at Oakshade scheduled for Saturday, July 13th. So, cool.
Yeah, that should be a busy week.
Should be, yeah. And then that's the penultimate event on the schedule, because then they go Sunday the following day at Wayne County for the finale for that series. Hopefully it's
I was kind of surprised at a couple of tracks that are not on the schedule this year.
Any in particular?
Yeah, a couple Michigan ones.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Are you really surprised, or was that sarcasm?
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure. The 2024 Ohio Sprint Speed Week was announced on Saturday. It's going to start at Attica Raceway Park on Friday, June 7th. Then it's on to Fremont Speedway. Friday, June 7th. On to Fremont Speedway on Saturday. Waynesfield Raceway Park on Sunday. Wayne County Speedway on Monday. Hilltop Speedway on Tuesday. Sharon Speedway on Wednesday. Muskegon County Speedway Thursday. Millstream Speedway on Friday.
Yay.
And the finale will be at Atomic Speedway on Saturday. All 9 nights will be streamed on Flow Racing and Dirt Vision again. Ohio Sprint Speed Week this year being sanctioned by FAST.
Right. I was pretty impressed that Flow and Dirt Vision are working together and helping to make that happen.
Oh, what do you think of Limaland not being on that schedule?
I don't know. Were they on last year?
I don't know.
It's kind of a 360 track. It's
okay.
It's not.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
track. You're right. Well, what about Waynesfield?
That was kind of a shocker.
In any case, that's your schedule for the Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Lucas Oil, the Lucas. I think I forgot to delete something there.
Oh, okay.
The High Limit Sprint Car Series announced they're going to have a charter system next year. 10 charters are actually starting next year. 10 charters are set to be handed out over the next 2 seasons. 5 will be awarded at the end of 2024, and the other 5 will be awarded at the end of the 2025 season. At the end of the 2024 season, the top 5 teams in points will get those charters. The first batch, that is.
They don't have to buy them the way they do in NASCAR?
Not according to this. It only counts.
Awarded.
It only counts for teams that are full-time with the series, though.
Right.
At the end of the 2025 season, the top 5 in points that do not already have a charter will be gifted a charter. So, yeah, they don't have to pay for that.
So that means they're locked into...
So 10 teams will have a charter at the end of 2025. Media revenue will be shared with charter-backed teams beginning in 2026.
Ooh.
So they won't really make anything until 2026. The 10 charter teams will collect 50% of the streaming revenue earned for the series annually.
I'll bet that could be a big deal.
That could be a very big deal. So I don't know. Is that what do you feel about charter systems for that kind of a series?
Sounds a whole lot NASCAR-ish to me, but yeah.
Well, the Lucas Oil
and Kyle would probably understand that.
Well, yeah. I mean, look where he races.
Yeah.
Well, he races everywhere, I guess. But here's where the Lucas was coming from. That came from this point. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Chase for the Championship will put an even greater emphasis on the final 4 drivers in 2024. You remember this past season, they kind of switched to a similar playoff kind of system that
Right.
NASCAR has. The round-by-round format will continue to award teams cash prizes at 4 different intervals throughout the season. However, bonus points will not be awarded after each round. The Big River Steel Big Four will now be settled at the 20th Annual Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals on September 21st. From there, the 4 championship contenders will battle for the 20th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series National Championship at the remaining 7 races of the season.
Wow.
So it's a little bit different this year then.
But it's still...
But only 4 drivers will have a shot at it.
Right.
In those last 7 races.
The final 4.
Yeah. Faction 46 recently announced its launch. The team will run full-time in the NASCAR Truck Series in 2024. Thad Moffitt has been signed as the driver, the 23-year-old grandson of the King Richard Petty. Of course, we talked to him last year, 2 years ago, something like that. Faction 46 will get their equipment from Nice Motorsports. The motorsport duo of Leah Pruitt and Tony Stewart made news at the annual PRI show last weekend in Indianapolis. Actually, last Thursday, as a matter of fact, regarding their respective racing careers. Pruitt announced she will temporarily step away from her driving duties in the upcoming NHRA Mission Foods Pro Drag Racing Series to focus on starting a family with her husband, Stewart.
That's going to be a shocker to Tony.
Well, Tony's going to he's going to race the full season in her place.
No, I got that. Just
Tony becoming a dad?
Starting a family, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a shocker or not. ASA Stars National Tour will once again headline the 36th Glass City 200 at Toledo Speedway. That'll be on September 14th in 2024. Daytona Speedway has paved the remaining sections of grass along the back straightaway. I remember Ryan Preece went for that wild ride last year, caught the grass and kind of started flipping pretty good.
And you go faster.
You go faster, but it's smooth.
Yeah.
So you're not
I'm
digging
saying
into
the grass.
Oh, the grass go faster?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
You speed up.
Whew.
You should race in the grass. It makes you go faster, right?
Yeah.
NASCAR officials reinstated Cup Series driver Cody Ware on Tuesday. Ware had been suspended indefinitely by the sanctioning body on April 10th after the 28-year-old, then he was 27 back then, was arrested on a felony charge of assault by strangulation, inflict serious injury, and a misdemeanor charge of assault on a female. The charges have since been dropped. Thus his reinstatement.
Scott,
you got a fishy look on your face. I don't know any of the details other than that.
I understand the charges have been dropped. That was kind of a knee-jerk reaction on NASCAR's part, suspending him, fining him, whatever they were going to do before he was proven guilty. They were just allegations.
They were just following the charges, I guess.
Yeah. It just seems as though
they don't
you
do
need
their
to
own
be proven guilty.
Before being alleged.
How are they going to make up a complete lost season to Cody Ware?
That's a good point. I could cost you. So could another driver, accuse another driver or something, and then at the end of the season drop the charges. And
there's just so many scenarios where false allegations could be made and just screw up somebody's career. Period.
Yeah. On Wednesday, Trackhouse announced that Shane Van Gisbergen will run the full 2024 Xfinity Series with Colleague Racing in the number 97 Chevrolet Camaro and at least 7 Cup Series races with Trackhouse. You remember Van Gisbergen won his very first Cup race there at the Chicago road course. Next year, he'll run Cup Series races at Circuit of the Americas, Talladega, Charlotte, Chicago, Watkins Glen, and Las Vegas, in addition to his full Xfinity Series commitment. And Trackhouse says he'll run at least these 7 races in the Cup Series, so there's a possibility for some more one-off races.
Yeah.
Former guest Katie Hedinger will pilot a Cars Tour Pro late model and late model stock car under the Hedinger Racing banner in 2024. She is the first woman to lead the Cars Tour Series points. She did so from May until the end of October this year. She eventually finished second in points behind Caden Kvapil. Thank you. Why don't
KVAP?
Yes, I know.
Kvapil. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked to Katie. Was that this past year?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
6,
so
7
many
years is all kind
so
of
many
blended
guests,
together.
Scott.
Noah Gragson is getting another chance. 25-year-old NASCAR Cup Series driver who was suspended in August for liking a racially insensitive post on social media is back on the grid for 2024 after agreeing to a multi-year deal with Stewart Haas Racing to drive the number 10 Ford Mustang.
Yay.
Gragson was suspended on August 5th and reinstated by NASCAR on September 12th. His most recent Cup Series start for Legacy Motor Club came on July 30th at Richmond. So he hasn't competed in the Cup Series since that whole suspension.
For liking a post.
Well, I guess people have to be cautious of what they like. Dean, yes, I think the pizza was. I didn't actually get pizza. I got the cheese boat, which was good from Big D's. That's like my favorite.
Scott,
that's my go-to.
How did I miss another driver making some starts next year in the Xfinity Series? Jimmy Johnson?
What?
Coming out of retirement and running some races in the Xfinity Series? 3 races?
I didn't have that.
Really?
No. Is he?
Yeah. I forget what races they were, but...
do you know who he's racing for?
It seems like it might have been Legacy.
Oh,
that
would make sense, I guess.
caught it for a few minutes this afternoon.
Interesting.
And I guess it was announced last week, and I don't know how I missed that.
I missed that too. I don't know. I probably filed that under the I don't care file in my head if it had Jimmy Johnson to do.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, sad news to pass along. Wayne Rogers, affectionately referred to as Frida by some of his Oakshade colleagues, lost his battle with cancer last evening. Wayne did a lot behind the scenes at Oakshade Raceway with creating the lineups, posting them up on my race pass to entering in the final race results at the end of the night. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Rogers and Oakshade Raceway family.
Yeah.
So, sad news. I just was talking to him like 3 weeks ago, too, because there was some website stuff, and then all of a sudden this, I'm like, what the? Wow.
Yeah.
How do we transition from that to do some how many?
How many, Scott?
Yeah, got some stuff to give away here. Some Big D's Pizza, as I was just mentioning. Last week's how many was the number of touchdowns the Lions and the Browns will score this past weekend.
Right.
Thought the weather was going to be bad in both games. Weather wasn't bad.
No.
And the Browns scored quite a bit. Lions did not score enough.
The Lions didn't show up for that game.
So the total number of touchdowns, there was two touchdowns for the Lions, 4 touchdowns for the Browns, 2 separate games, but that didn't matter. It was just total for those two teams. So 6 was the magical number to win a Big D's Pizza. We had a tie. 2 people chose 6, and Dean has expressed some displeasure when I don't include him or I just discount him if he's one of the ones that won.
So he's in?
So he's in. So he can give it to whoever he wants. It's like a wild card.
Ooh.
So it's between Dean Henry and Gretchen Knapp, who both guessed 6. So here we go. We're going to spin the Big D's pizza wheel. Make sure we got that on there. Here we go. For a free Big D's pizza. Oh, I wasn't sure where that was going. Gretchen Knapp, congratulations. You have 30 days to claim your Big D's pizza. I thought Dean was going to win it there for a moment. Don't fret. We still have that DCR graphic.
Who was the in-studio winner?
Oh, we forgot about that, didn't I?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Well, I didn't want to mention it because somebody in the studio picked 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that you?
It was not me.
Really?
So that would be you. I picked 5. You went 6. So congratulations. You get to go first for this week's How Many?
Which is?
Well, before we get to that, here's the update from producer Dave. 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson set to return to the seat of the number 84 car for
Which
Legacy
is kind
Motorsport
of like 48.
Club. It's in reverse or transposed.
The semi-retired NASCAR legend Jimmy Johnson will compete in at least 3 races. Wow.
Advent Health will, which previously partnered with Trackhouse Racing and Chip Ganassi Racing, will move over to sponsor Johnson in 3 races. Healthcare firm will also sponsor Eric Jones' 43 car in 6 races. So there you go.
So there you are.
Yeah. Not that I didn't believe you. I just didn't see that.
Breaking news.
Was it really?
Jimmy Johnson fans, let's hear some applause.
Oh, I don't have that sound effect queued up. I'm sorry.
Oh, yay.
Yay. So this week's How Many? For chance to win Big D's Pizza next week.
Is this going to be another math question?
Nope, no math involved in this one. This one's a simple how many question. It involves the Gateway Dirt Nationals, which are going on this weekend, which we're going to get out of here before they get to the A-Mains tonight. Saturday's main event for the late models.
Right.
How many flips are going to be in that race?
Just in the late model?
Just in that race. There might not be any. There's a good chance there might be 0. But there's been a lot of cars that flip over at the Dome in those tight little...
You don't think we should count the mods too?
No, because then I got to watch both, and I might not get to both first. It's easier for me this way.
So it's all about easy.
Yeah. Well, and see, we've already got guesses, so we can't change it now. So in the late model feature, how many cars are going to flip over? And that they can get up on their side. It's going to be my judgment call, I guess.
Do they have to stop?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but if they get all the way over on their side, that counts as a flip.
And if they came back down and kept going?
That's fine. That's a flip.
Okay.
That just counts as one flip. We're getting way too technical about this.
I'm going to say it's going to be exciting.
If they get up into the wall, but they're not all the way over on their side, if they're not perfectly perpendicular up and down, with the side on the ground and the other side up and toward the ceiling, then that does not count. They have to be fully 90 degrees.
So you're going to have a protractor so you can measure
I will be
things.
Right up against the TV with my...
protractor.
Sure, yes.
That's what it is, Scott.
No, I was thinking of the other thing. I always call it an L.
This is just the feature.
My square. That's what it is.
I see.
I call it an L. I don't know why people call it a square because it's not a square. It's just a 90-degree angle.
Oh, boy, Scott.
Why would you call it a square? It makes no sense. It's an L or a 7 if you hold it the other way. All right, we've got enough track here. So what's your guess?
3.
You're three cars are there's going to be 3 flips?
I believe.
That's a lot of flips. I'm going to just go with 2 then and take the easy under on that. I don't think there may be 1. I would be surprised if there was 1, but now they should have to go all the way over. Nope.
90 degrees.
At least 90 degrees.
90 degrees will do it.
90 degrees will count as a flip. So Dean's saying that now because he said 0. I see what he's trying to do. So put your guess in the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. You have until 7 o'clock Saturday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time Saturday night, because that's when racing starts for the Saturday portion of things.
Yeah, and make sure it's Eastern because
Because they're over in Central.
Yeah, they're Central Time.
There you go. Well, yes, he says. So, yeah, and no Hammer Down hotline this week. If you do want to call, leave a message, whatever. Say what you hate about the show, like about the show, have an opinion about something we've talked about. You can always call, text anytime at 419-318-3081. No calls or texts this past week, so nothing to pass along. So, sorry. Moving on, though. We have our Big D's Pizza Racing menu. How about we do that real quick and then get the heck out of here?
This weekend's Big D's Pizza Racing menu.
You'd think it'd be quick, but
wait.
But wait. Don't forget, we still have hashtag DCR, last chance to get in on that because we're going to do that drawing here in just a moment. If you haven't put in hashtag DCR in the comments of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live and you're listening to us live, then you have just a couple minutes to do so right now. So this weekend, the Dome of America in St. Louis, Missouri. It's the Gateway Dirt Nationals featuring late models and modifieds. Of course, started tonight, goes through Saturday. It's streamed on Flow Racing. Here's your detailed schedule for things. We'll kind of move past tonight.
Night one
is already in progress.
On Flow Racing.
Correct. Night 2, Friday night, on-track activity begins at 4 p.m. These are Eastern times. I've adjusted it from Central Times to East. So these are Eastern Standard Times for action at the Gateway Dirt Nationals. On-track activity begins at 4 p.m. for the super late models with hot laps qualifying. Then they'll do modified hot laps qualifying. 6 o'clock tomorrow. Same time it started tonight.
Right.
They were a little late tonight, though. 6 o'clock, opening ceremonies tomorrow night. They're going to do the super late model heats, modified heats, super late model B main, modified B main, super late model A. I bet you there's going to be a modified A. What do you think? Yeah. And that'll end up the action on Friday night. Saturday night, again, on-track activity begins at 4 with a late model non-qualifiers 10-lap race. Then they're going to do super late model qualifiers, 10 laps. Super late model hot laps, top 6 locked in. I don't even know what I copied here. Oh. On-track activity starts at 4 p.m. 7 o'clock is, that was just hot laps qualifying, whatever. 7 o'clock opening ceremonies, and then they're going to start with the win and you're in super late model last chance qualifier. Win and you're in modified last chance qualifier, and then the 40-lap super late model A main, then modified 30-lap A.
Winner only to the main race, to the feature.
From those last chance, yes.
Yep, to the LC.
But I believe there's a non-qualifier race. That's what's going on starting about 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I could be wrong. There's a lot going on there. But again, the main events are last chance qualifiers. Those 2 races and the 2 A mains start at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. So that's why you have until then. So you think in the 40 laps, they're going to flip over 3 times?
Yeah.
That's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. I give you that. Let's do our giveaway for our DCR Graphics Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. This is the special edition.
Right.
Sticker, the 2023 deal featuring the Hammer Down Army on the rear spoiler. I don't know if you can read any of that. Probably not. But these you can't buy.
Will that sticker get you into the Hammer Down
Yeah,
Army?
sure. If you want to put this on your car. I mean, I probably wouldn't because this is a pretty cool sticker. But, you know, if you want to, that'll count. Let's draw for that now. These are from everybody that put hashtag DCR into the comments. So we'll do that. Let's
push that button.
Let's go over here and turn this off so we can make sure that our winner is not obscured. Here we go. You have a 1 in 13 chance to win, unless you maybe did the that little work the system thing I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention what that was. You have to go back and listen to the beginning of the show if you missed that. So here we go. We're drawing for the winner of special edition Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. This week's winner is going to be
Kevin Light.
Kevin Light. How How was I in this? How was Hammer Down Racing Report in this?
I don't know.
Maybe Dave Kemmer he might have done that. Kevin Light, congratulations. You are this week's winner of, actually, you got the cool Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker courtesy of
Special
DCR
edition.
Graphics. Yeah, the one you can't even buy. You have 30 days to pick up your sticker. You can do so at Ron Miller Race Cars. If you need directions or anything, send us a message or call Ron Miller Race Cars, and we'll help you out there. So congratulations to Kevin Light. We'll probably do another special edition one next week because that'll be our last show of the year.
That's crazy. How can the year be gone already?
I don't know. It just happens.
Ugh.
But that's about going to do it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Thanks to associate producer Dave Kemmer, contributors John Young, Matt Swander, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on X, otherwise known as Twitter. We're at Hammer Report on there.
Talk faster. I want to go watch the race.
Listen on your favorite podcasting platform, all of them, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Oh, I forgot to mention that we were charting again on iHeart.
In Australia?
In Australia on iTunes. Did I write that down? Yeah, actually, we're in the U.S., too.
Ooh.
We peaked at number 137 in the U.S. and 136 in Australia.
When you think about all of the podcasts in the United States...
It's got to be with our association with Evergreen Pack. That's in our category, though.
Right.
That's not overall.
I understand.
In our automotive category there. Thanks again to our sponsors, DCR Graphics, Dominator Race Products, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos. Thanks to our guests this week, Tony Anderson, Todd Sherman. Next week, Sandusky Champions Week.
Along with
Chris Mize.
Yeah.
He'll be back again to give us a preview of the Hangover race. We'll go over all the rules and whatever might be different for this year's edition of that race coming up on New Year's Day at Sandusky Speedway. And in addition to that, in addition to us also doing another DCR Graphics special edition right side up window sticker giveaway next week on the show, and your chance to win Big D's Pizza with how many? John Young Racing has stepped up. He's going to be having us give away 2 pit passes, 2 hot chocolates, 2 hot dogs. Also, you'll get 2 autographed driver cards and 2 window stickers from John Young Racing.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is
Big
all
prize.
to one lucky winner?
All to one lucky winner.
Oh,
Just all the John
still
Young
my
stuff.
heart.
But, yeah. Not everything.
Wow.
This will be separate from that, but it doesn't mean that one person can't win both, because we're going to do probably hashtags for those.
Ooh.
You have to be listening to the live show to be able to win those. So.
Okay.
So, there you go. That's it. We're out of here. We're going to go enjoy some Gateway Dirt Nationals action.
Yes, we are.
You have a wonderful night. We'll see you next week for our final show of 2023.
See you next week, folks.
See ya.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.